Welcome, no. Welcome to the soapbox. I'm Ann.
And I'm Lisa. And I like your outfit, Ann.
Hey, thanks.
Looking festive for
Easter.
Easter.
Yeah.
I feel
Yep.
like I'm a little underdressed.
Yeah, I kind of are.
Yeah. Well, it's, I am. You didn't tell me the plan.
I
I could have worn
wanted
some.
everybody to be surprised.
I am very surprised, Ann. I am very surprised. So how's your day going? How's your week been?
Oh, I don't know. I've been grouchy.
Yeah. Well,
Kind of today, yeah.
well, at your age, there's a lot to be grouchy about.
Yep.
And one of the things that I'm going to talk about make both of us grouchy. Not only is it Easter time, it's
is.
also tax time. And I got Liam over there. He's like, that's really not anything that he has to worry
really
about
gives
at
a
this
shit
point,
about.
right?
Yeah.
But
He don't care.
but anyway, this is something for you to think about, Liam. Is that you get a paycheck every week, so they tax you on that paycheck. So they take taxes out of that paycheck that you've earned, that you worked all week for, and
They do.
then what you have left over to take care of your needs and your wants, they're going to tax you on everything you buy with that. So they're going to tax you again.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Then you get to wait a whole year, and they look at you and they look and say, okay. And they might tell you, you didn't pay enough. So guess what? We're going to tax you some more.
Yep.
That's how that all works. See how much fun that you're going to have
Yeah.
as you grow up. So you're going to work your butt off for money for the government. And, one of the things that also that you have to pay taxes on besides your paycheck is your property.
Yeah.
So when you own property, even if you pay it off, it's never really paid off because then you still have to pay taxes on your land that you own. So
Pay tax on your vehicles.
So it's an illusion. It's an illusion that you ever own anything. It is basically a lending system. So you're never really going to owe anything. So
You're going to owe everything.
right.
Own.
Oh, you're not going to you're going to owe everything and you're not going to own anything. So here's something that's fun to think about. People on Social Security.
I know somebody.
Yeah, people that are on Social Security that paid off their home, and this is my opinion.
I
though.
haven't done that.
So people that have paid off their home that are on Social Security, I think should not have to pay taxes on their land. Did you know? So think about this, Liam, and I know it's hard for you at your age, but you could kind of think about it from your grandparents' point of view. But so there's thousands of senior citizens that lose their homes every year because of back taxes.
Really?
Yes, thousands. And not only that, and sometimes, most of the time, the majority of the time that they lose their homes on back taxes, it is on not a whole lot of money. Like we're not talking about $200,000 or $300,000. We're not talking about a lot of money, but we're talking, they lose their homes over, what most of us would think would only be, that's not very much at all. $1,000, $2,000, whatever it might be. So these senior citizens are losing their homes because of back taxes. So I did a little investigation and to see what the states offer for people that are retired and certain ages. And there are a few exceptions of states that offer partial tax exemptions for seniors. So what that means is an exemption might be like an assessed value, like Alaska. Alaska offers $150,000 exemption. So if you had a home that was $200,000, let's just say, or $300,000, whatever it is, whatever the assessed value is, then they would take $150,000 of that and say it doesn't exist. So if $350,000 or $300,000 house would only become a $150,000 house, and that's what you'd pay the taxes, the land taxes on. So Colorado, they offer 50% of the first 200,000. So that means you'd pay taxes on a $100,000 home if you owned a $200,000 home. Iowa, they give senior citizens a $6,500 deduction. Kentucky, they give you a $49,100 deduction. Mississippi, $7,500. In Ohio, $26,200. Now, we live in Indiana. So good old Indiana. I wonder what good old Indiana offers. They have
It's Republican, so probably not much.
yeah,
If anything.
yeah. Anything that we get with, they'd send it to Trump anyway.
Probably.
Special programs offered by Indiana. So $150 credit for anybody that's over the age of 65. And then limits to increase your taxes. There's a tax. They limit to 2% per year. So if the taxes go up, they limit it to only 2%.
Wow.
And they do a tax freeze on the assessed value. But that's only for qualifying people. All of these things is if you qualify. They're not going to, it's just, oh, you're 65 or you're 62 or 70, you automatically get it. No. And not only that, then they have a max income of 30,000 to 70K.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You got to have a max income in there.
But here's the problem that a lot of these senior citizens run into is there is a annual application. Most senior citizens don't even know that any of these things are offered. And then they throw in the fact that you have to do an annual application. And it has to be in before the tax. It's like up to January, the day of, or before the January 15th or whatever that cutoff is. And you've got to get it filled out. So, and then here's the other one. So I looked up and I said, what are the best places that give the best breaks for senior citizens? Of course, Alaska had that huge break, which was really good. Alabama, if you are 65 and up with low income, you can be completely exempt. Georgia, $4,000, 65 plus. Colorado, 50% off the first 200,000 of the, and all of this has to be your prime residence.
Right.
It can't. I mean, if you have a vacation home, I don't think it's going to be a problem anyway. So what they had to make, you had to sell your vacation home to pay your taxes. Most of us are not that lucky, right, Ann?
Yeah. No.
And then let's see here, Florida, an additional 50,000 off the off of your primary resident for 65 plus and low income. South Carolina, 50,000. You can get on a homestead exemption on the value. Now, a homestead exemption.
Indiana has that homestead.
Yeah, but this is a special for senior citizens. What's good about a homestead is not something that you have to annually. You only have to file for that once.
Right.
So that's kind of nice for those people that live in South Carolina. It's not something that they have to do every year like some of the other ones. And then you've got New York, 50% off the value of low income. And then there is a deferral program that is offered in Texas, which I think is kind of unique. So say your taxes, you can't afford to pay them. They defer it. So as long as you live, they defer it. But as soon as that house gets sold,
I got to pay them.
they've got to be paid.
Well, of course.
So at least that person won't get kicked out of their home, though. You know, their family may not end up with anything, but, you know, at least they got a home.
Right.
You know, I guess that's the way to look at it. Arizona also has that. California and Oregon has that deferral program. And I think that, again, that has to do with your income. That's not something that they just give to everybody. Income limits, it has to be your primary home. And then, of course, you have applications that you have to fill out. Some of them you have to do them every freaking year.
Right.
You know, there's some elderly people that just have trouble getting appointments to the doctors or anything else.
Right.
And they don't always know what's going on. I mean, things are moving a lot faster than what they are right now, you know,
Exactly, yeah.
and it's hard for, if they
Yeah,
don't
we
have,
don't move as fast as we used to.
you know, and they don't have families that help them keep up on this stuff,
Right.
they lose their homes, you know. And the worst states for seniors with property taxes, New Jersey is number 1. Number 2 is Illinois, Connecticut, New York City, and New Hampshire. So
We won't be moving there.
anyway, that's my little tidbit on taxes and you know, to get in the festive tax mode of everything. You know how we all love paying taxes.
Yeah, I haven't even done ours again yet.
Liam over there, gets a few bucks and he pays taxes when he sales tax, and it really doesn't mean anything to him. But one day he's gonna be cussing these people out. He's like, "These son of a bitches, you bastards!"
Yeah, well, you didn't. Yeah, well, they take federal tax, state tax, Social Security tax, local tax.
Yeah, it all adds up. Especially, I think you really notice it when you're first start getting your real paychecks, you know, and you look
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh man, I'm working, all right, 40 hours and I get paid
$20 an hour.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm going to be
have
banking."
$800. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get your check and you're like, what the hell
$550.
what the hell happened? Yeah. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, they expect people to live and save for homes and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
raise families. It's crazy. You know, it's hard to believe that at one point this country, literally, it was the norm to have one person in the household working.
Yeah, my
and
dad.
you could make it.
Yeah.
You can make it off of one income. Raise a family. I
Yeah.
mean, you could raise a family off that. A family of 4 can easily make it off one income, or then sometimes more if you tighten your belt a little bit. But yeah, I don't see that happening now.
Oh, you couldn't do it now.
No, I can't see it happening now. But yeah, so yeah, tell us about this outfit here. It's pretty quacky.
The ducks.
Yeah, it's ducks.
Yeah. Duck.
You're in the duck mode.
I'm in the duck mode.
Yeah. Speaking of quacks,
Yeah, we know.
who do you think I'm talking about when I say that?
Our commander in chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
If you want to call him that,
yeah.
the commander dipshit, duck, fucking duck.
Yeah, he's something else. But you know, he did our ex-attorney general, he did get, you know,
I
fire
got rid of
Pam
her.
Bondi, you know, because from what I understand, it's because of the way she handled the Jeff Epstein files. Well,
Well, it cost him too much heartache or headache or whatever it was, that, and not prosecuting people that were against him the
I
way
mean,
he wanted them to.
I mean,
Wanted her
basically,
to, I should say.
I mean, she kissed his ass and worships
did.
I mean, like, he fired her, and I mean, he could literally just blow a kiss her way, and she'd be running back to him.
Well, I'm
I
sure
mean,
she has calluses on her knees.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's.
I think they all do.
I just don't know. You know, he has this bad habit of, you know, using people up and making them kind of what's the word I'm looking for when they're making them. Yeah, he's making them his scapegoats. You know, like he does what he wants through them, and then when they get all the baggage and all the negative publicity and stuff, then he throws them off. You know, and
Well, I had a boss like that. You know, you'd do something good, and he'd get with his bosses and well, we did this and we did that. But as soon as you screwed up, it was, well, she,
Oh yeah, it takes
and
all
he's
the
the
good
exact
stuff. Yeah.
same.
Yeah, anything good, he takes the credit
Takes the
for.
credit for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know this woman, but I guarantee you what, her name is Mud now.
Oh, it is.
You know, she's not going to get a job anywhere. You know,
Well, she's an attorney. Somebody will be stupid enough to hire her.
I don't know. Maybe hire her for a book about Trump or something. But you know, he's got that so clam and screwed up and so closed up that people can't even mention his name without worrying about getting sued.
I know, right?
You know, I mean, literally.
He can sue me. I don't care.
Right, right.
Go
I don't have
ahead.
anything.
I don't got anything.
But yeah, she was, you know, she was doomed from the beginning. Like, and I'm looking back at, it's like the people that Trump has appointed and then hired, then fired, or literally pressured them into leaving. First, you got Mark Miley.
Whoever that is.
He was the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Oh.
Then you had Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State. He fired that guy on a tweet. Like literally. That's like giving somebody a text message. Or, no, it's even worse than a text message. It's like putting it on Facebook or something. Yeah, I fired that guy. I didn't know I got fired.
Right. What are you talking about?
I mean, that's how, I don't know. You would think that guy could go
Cowardly.
after, yeah, you could go after him for something like that. And then, let's see, Jeff Sessions.
Sessions, yeah.
He was the U.S. Attorney General. He was actually pressured into resigning.
Well, because he probably wouldn't do Trump's bidding, whatever it was he wanted him to do.
And that's what it is.
And you're not, if you're in the DOJ, you're supposed to be independent. You're not supposed to do whatever Trump wants you to do.
Well, you know, but that's not the way he does it in his playground.
Well, I know. He doesn't play well in the sandbox with others.
No, and he doesn't want to hear what's right. He wants to hear
What he wants to hear.
right. He's like a lot of bosses. I don't want you to think. I don't want you to look out for my best interest or the country's best interest. I want you to do exactly what I tell you to do.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So why don't he just appoint a bunch of monkeys?
Well, he did.
Basically. But some of the monkeys didn't make, like Pat Mattis, Secretary of State. He resigned. I don't know how long he was in there. Kristen Nielsen, she was the Secretary of Homeland Security. She was forced out. Ryan Zinke and Interior Secretary he resigned. Tom Price, Health and Human Services Secretary, he was forced to resign.
Was this part of Doge, or was this just stuff that
this
Trump
is
made him do?
they forced him
Forced him out.
Mark Esper, Secretary of Defense, he was fired. And then you have the White House staff that he used and abused and got him out of there. Steve Bannon, he was the White House chief strategist. Strategist. I'm sorry, I said strategist. I was trying to be fancy. I'm not sure. He might have fired this person because he couldn't pronounce their name, because that's the way Trump is. And I'm probably going to just chop it all up here. It's Reince Priebus, chief of staff. Anthony, some of these people I don't even remember. Scamurci, communications director. He was fired in 10 days. That's probably why I can't remember who that was.
Yeah.
And then Sean Spicer, White House secretary. Michael Flynn, National Security Advisor, resigned in 24 days. H.R. McMaster, National Security Advisor. Katie Walsh, Deputy Chief of Staff. And, of course, now we've added Pam Bondi to the list.
And what Christy Nome?
Yeah. Yep.
She just got fired.
Yep. Christy
Who's
Nome.
going to be next?
Right. Who's, well, in it.
Caroline Levitt.
Oh, wait a minute here. I might be missing a
The
paper.
press secretary.
But here's my point.
All the women.
Well,
ya.
and there's some men in there, but
Oh, I know.
Here's my point to the whole long drawn out thing. These people, literally, he handpicked them
Oh, yeah.
because he believed, and we both know, he didn't pick anybody he didn't think was going to walk the walk and talk the talk that he wants them to.
Correct.
And so he used them and threw them away.
Well, the news this week, he went to a grand jury, the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
He went and sat in on a session.
Okay.
First president that ever did that.
Did he keep his mouth shut? That's the only thing I want
Well,
to
he
know.
did keep his mouth shut, is what I understand. But I think he just went there for intimidation because it was about birthright citizenship.
That's what I was going to. That's the point I was going to make. Was it more of a to intimidate what was going
I
on?
think it was to intimidate the justices,
Right.
and he appointed,
Yeah.
a lot of
yeah.
them.
I know.
I mean, it's favorable Republican. I mean, they're supposed to be independent, and not be partisan. But yeah, I think he just went there to intimidate. He's the only president I think they said that ever did it.
Which I don't really see it. I don't really care. I guess one way or the other, if a president wants to see how that transition and how it works and all that. But we both know, sitting here, that's not the fact when it comes to Trump. That
Oh,
there was ulterior motives, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
only thing I can think of, I'm with you, is an intimidation
Yeah.
for sure. I can't see.
because he's still mad because they didn't go along with his tariff business, and he was butthurt about that during the address to the nation, whatever they call that.
Well, I'm surprised he even remembers between his naps and his
Yeah.
bladder.
Well, I have a fun fact. You want to hear
Yeah.
it? Where'd I write it? I don't even have it here, and I don't remember it. So forget that.
Okay. Scratch the fact.
Scratch that. I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, here you go.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I got it.
Let's go.
I'm a dork. Anyway,
I'm a dork.
do you know, fun fact,
Okay.
that blue whale poop can weigh up to 4 tons?
I could see that.
Did you know that?
How many times do they poop in a day?
It didn't say that.
Oh,
But that makes it the second largest piece of shit behind President Trump.
facts.
Fun
Those-
fact,
Those are fun facts.
4 tons of poop. That's a lot of poop.
Yeah, that is a lot. So that means our oceans are full of shit,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah. Add Trump to it, and there you go.
Interesting. Any more fun facts?
No, that's the only one I had.
Oh, that's the only one you had?
Well, I've often thought about how loud a centipede would be if it wore flip flops.
That'd be interesting. It's got a lot of feet, so there's got to be a lot of
How lo-
stomping going on.
Yeah, be pretty loud. Pretty loud. Flip,
It
flip,
might sound
flip,
like
flip,
it's an
flip,
army.
flip. Yeah.
One centipede could sound like a Russian army.
Right. Makes you wonder what religion a praying mantis is.
Well, maybe they're non-denomination.
Could be.
I saw something.
Maybe they're Catholic. They hold their little arms up. Maybe they.
Yeah, but they don't have anybody in front of them that they're lying to.
Oh, okay. That's true.
So I did see something that kind of bothered me this week.
Uh-oh.
I was,
I've
I
had
do-
a lot of things bother me this week, but okay.
I do a lot of scrolling through social media and TikTok, Facebook, all of that stuff, just to pick up on what people are doing and they're talking about and what's going on. Try to stay in the in. And I know your grandson's over there looking at me thinking, you're so far from the end that you're all the way out. But anyway, it's
Yeah.
at least so I can see what's going on in the world and what people are talking about. And there was a lady on one of the gay and lesbian sites that I have on my Facebook, and she's got a family, and she's like, is there any churches in the area that welcome, the gay community to come to, church? Because I'd like, take my family to church for Easter.
Right.
And, there was a lot of people that said, yeah, they're not,
Really isn't any.
there really isn't any in the area. And, of course, you got the people that like to make wisecracks and things like that. And I think to myself, these churches and these people that are making these wisecracks that, they really don't know anything about Jesus and God and what it represents, because, they're like, yeah, you're not welcome. They're not going to allow you to come to church. And I think to myself, first of all, you have a church that's supposed to be a house of God.
Right.
It's not supposed to be your church, your judgments. It's supposed to be a place where we can all gather around and be good to each other and talk about, how we feel about how we could be better people, not only to ourselves and our families, but to each other. And I thought to myself, if God was to stand before you people that say those things, and they were to stand, and then on the other end of them was a married couple that has gay married couple that has a family that love each other, loves their family, doing the best they can. And they've got these people over there ridiculing them and telling them how bad they are, and, how they would never let them in their church and they wouldn't be welcome. Who do you think God would want more in heaven?
The ones that know how to treat people right
Yeah, exactly.
with compassion. And,
if you
I never asked anybody to understand.
right. And
Just let me live.
right.
I mean, I don't care what you do.
Right. It just touched my heart that somebody that's heterosexual doesn't understand. They can go and they can walk into any church, and they
Be
could
welcomed.
be be welcome. They could be a child molester.
Oh, yeah.
They could be a thief. They could be, they could freaking sleep around on their spouse. They could be all of these things.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you that nobody that goes into that church is perfect. They could be all of these things. And if people had to wear their sins on the outside, what they consider a sin.
Oh, right.
who-
Nobody be in church.
And
Still, nobody would
obviously-
be in church.
And obviously they don't study, and read about, who Jesus Christ surrounded himself with.
Right.
It hurt my heart that this mother wanted to take her family to church, and there's not anybody that would say, you know what, you won't show up to my church.
Well, I had a second cousin that came out, and she was a worship leader. She sang there. And should I name the church?
Sure, go ahead. If it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah, Sugar Grove Church.
Yeah,
Yeah, on
I've
County
heard of
Road
it.
17.
yeah.
She grew up in this church. She went to this church, and her family went to this church, her mom and dad. But as soon as she came out, they just kind of made her leave. Took away, she wasn't allowed to be the worship leader anymore. And here, not that long ago, she was looking for another church to go to. I don't know whether she found one or not, but
Right.
yeah. Yeah, they just kind of, well, that's the end of you.
Yeah,
And I think that's a bunch of crap.
it is. And if they think for 1 minute that's going to get them into heaven, they've got another thing coming.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the younger generations like Liam's and our kids, that they will change the world and just, because even though it's changed a lot in some ways it hasn't changed at all.
It
And,
hasn't. Yeah.
but anyway, I seen that. And it kind of made me sad. It kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it really pissed me off.
Yeah.
It really did. It pissed
Yeah.
me off, and I just wanted to bring it up and say
Yeah,
what
I don't know
thought.
where these people get this holier than thou attitude. I really don't.
Well, they didn't get it from God,
Exactly.
so there's that.
There's that.
So anyway, other than me going off on a tangent again, that's all I have for this episode. You got anything you want to add on there, Ann?
Not that I know of.
All right.
It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week. For our listeners, hopefully I'm not stepping out of bounds, Ann, but Ann lost one of her siblings, her brother, and condolences to you and your family.
Thank you.
And that's hard. I mean, to lose people that you love, and I just want to say something to you and your family, and tell you that we love you and we're thinking of you, and Denny will be missed.
You will. We didn't stay very close for a while, but when this stuff happens, you just think about, I grew up with this dude.
Yeah, that was your brother.
That was my brother.
It's your brother. You grew up doing stuff.
You know?
Yeah, good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah, he
Memories.
was mean to me, but I forgive him.
You got lots of holidays and things that as families, and
Yep.
so. All
Yeah.
right.
But I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been
Absolutely,
it's
buddy.
different.
Absolutely. Well, we love you, and we love you folks out there. If you have anything that you'd like to add, anything you would like to talk about, again, please don't be bashful. Good, bad, or indifferent. You could email us at
Ann and Lisa's soapbox at gmail.com.
good job.
I had to read it on the board.
That's why we got the
I
board.
had half of it.
That's why we got the board. All right, folks. We'll see you again on their next episode. Thanks for tuning in.